It was a Tuesday afternoon when Maud was standing under a bus stop, trying to shield her art portfolio from a sudden downpour. A sleek black car pulled over, and the window rolled down. Jojo looked out, smiling, handsome, and looking like he'd stepped straight off a magazine cover. "That's too much of a talent to let go with," he said, offering her a ride. Maud hesitated, but Jojo had a way of making you feel safe within seconds. He was charming, he was polite, and he didn't pressure her. By the time he dropped her off at her tiny apartment, he hadn't just given her a ride. He'd given her his phone number and a feeling that her life was about to change. For the first 6 months, Jojo was every woman's dream. He didn't just love Maud, he worshipped her. He would show up at her workplace with lunch because he couldn't wait until dinner to see her. He told her she was a genius and that the world was too small for her. "I want to take care of you, Maud," he whispered one night. "I want you to only focus on your art. You don't need that stressful job. You don't need anyone but me." It sounded like love. To Maud, it felt like being rescued. The change happened so slowly that Maud didn't even notice the walls closing in. It started with small comments. When her best friend Sarah invited her out for drinks, Jojo would suddenly get a migraine or a panic attack. "Please don't go out tonight, Maud," he'd moan, holding his head. "I really need you here. Sarah's always out partying anyway. She doesn't understand our connection." Maud would stay home to nurse him, feeling guilty for even wanting to leave. Soon, Sarah stopped calling. Then Jojo started helping with her phone. He deleted messages from her brother, claiming they were just distracting her from her peace. By the time they moved into his massive gated mansion, Maud had no job, no car of her own, and no one to call but Jojo. The first time the old Jojo disappeared was over a bent dinner. Maud had been painting and lost track of time. The chicken was a little dry. Jojo looked at the plate, then looked at her. The warmth in his eyes, the warmth she had fallen in love with, turned into a cold, hard stare. "I pay for this house. I pay for your paints. I pay for the clothes on you," he said, his voice dropping to a low, scary hiss. "And you can't even get a meal right." He didn't hit her that night. He just swept the plate off the table, watching it shatter, and walked out. Maud spent the night on the floor, cleaning up the mess and crying, telling herself she would be better tomorrow. She would be more perfect so he wouldn't get angry again. But perfection wasn't enough. Jojo began to track her location on her phone. He'd call her 20 times a day. If she didn't answer by the second ring, he'd accuse her of being unfaithful or ungrateful. He began to control everything. He wanted her beautiful, but only for him. He wanted her talented, but only if she painted in the basement where no one could see. One evening, Maud's mother showed up unannounced at the front gate. She had been worried because Maud hadn't called in weeks. Jojo didn't even let her in. He stood at the gate and told her mother that Maud was resting and didn't want to be disturbed. Inside, Maud was watching from the upstairs window, silent tears streaming down her face. Jojo came upstairs, wrapped his arms around her from behind, and whispered into her ear, "See? I'm the only one who truly looks out for you. Everyone else is just an intruder." That was the day Maud realized she wasn't a wife. She was a trophy in a cage. And as months went by, the cage got smaller, the accidental shoves got harder, and the man she thought was her savior became her shadow. What she didn't know was that Jojo was looking for his next project, a woman named Elena.